Hi, welcome back to the Jackie and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm my husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. If it's your first time here. We're reviewing Married at First Sight, season 18, episode number 12. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the review. We got a lot to talk about in this episode on Married at First Sight. It's craziness going on. It's a little craziness going on between these couples. So let's get to it. Let's start with Camille and Thomas. They're pretty easy, right? We start off with Camille and Thomas going to see Camille's family. They all hang out with Camille's family, and those two, it was kind of relaxing as far as to see Camille, grandma's talking about all the things that she saved for Camille. I just love my baby Camille. I love my baby Camille.
A whole photo album binder of stuff that Camille did.
Yeah.
And they talked about her sports career. Her dad talked about basically how I wish she had that dog in her.
Yeah, when she had that dog in her, seems like when she dealing with Thomas, she got a little dog in her. She made him do sprints. She made him do sprints, so she got that little dog in. So
yeah, and just how proud they were of her, and Thomas appreciated getting to hear from the family that side of Camille, and he's hoping to bring the softness to her.
Yeah, because we all know Camille has been hard at times. She hasn't, even in this episode, we don't see her cry. We see her rub Thomas's mom's back, but she doesn't really shed those tears. We only seen her shed tears. I think it was the last episode. Excuse me, when she actually cried. So, so then they met each other's family. So we see Thomas, who takes Camille to meet his birth mother. Right. This is really important because Thomas and his birth mother reconnected as he got older. I was wondering doing this, like, did the other brother reconnect? Because it sounded like just her and Thomas has a good relationship. It doesn't sound like the other brother and her has a relationship, but it says like she's like, Thomas, we talk all the time. And she was cooking some good food. I was like, man, but I'm trying to figure out, is she Hispanic? Like what? Thomas is mixed up with some things, but again, but she shared the story. She shared a story of what happened to her and why she gave Thomas and his brother up. She was 16 years old.
She already had one child, which was their sister.
Yeah.
And then she got pregnant with the twins and was like, I don't think I can do it. I can't handle it. And she felt like the best thing for her to do was to, give them up for adoption. And she regretted it some later, but Thomas was like, no, you did the best thing you could, Mom. And we were raised by a good family. So, that made her feel better. But in that space, Camille really got to get some more insight.
Yeah, see Thomas cry. We saw Camille, rubbing Mama's back, making sure that Mama was okay. We saw those type of things, which I thought was good because you saw a little bit of emotion from Camille, but you didn't see the tears. Thomas is always crying, especially when he deals with his family, his dad and his mom. Those type of things make a big difference. And I saw Thomas in that light,
Didn't his mama say something about him being emotional?
They said emotional, but they had some tequila, had some good food, and it was good. Man, like look at they had some patties or empanadas, or it was something, but looked like it was pretty good. Some plantains.
Yeah, it was like plantains.
Plantains, but they ate, nothing really big going on with Camille and Thomas here. They couple everybody likes, right?
I have so much hope for them. I would be so let down if they don't stay together.
I would too, man. But they both share their experiences. They shared letters to them for. So it's Thomas and Camille, ain't no one. All right, let's go to Juan, Carla E. Juan, as you like to call it. Carla E. Juan, right? We see Carla, Carla and Juan focus on their emotional and their younger selves. I think they went to a coffee shop, and Juan, they both had to write letters to their younger self. They wrote letters to Carla, reflect on her family struggles, and including the poverty and losing their home and all that type of thing. And
the one interesting thing I want to say is, so Carla wrote her letter to her 10-year-old self.
10-year-old self, yeah.
Juan wrote his letter to his 6-month-old self, 6-year-old self,
and 15.
15-year-old
self.
And it was a stark difference. Well, it wasn't too. Well, I want to say this first. When they wrote the letters, they went to different spaces in the coffee house. I'm gonna go here, you go there. And so when they came back together to read their letters, and I'll just talk about Juan's. So Carla read hers first, and like you said, she reflected on her family struggles and how, you know, she had poverty and growing up in their housing crisis, and it was just encouraging 10-year-old Carla to like be yourself,
stay the course,
keep pushing, you know,
because she was a tree hugger.
You'll get there. You'll get there. Now for Juan, he talked about how his family had to send him to live with another family member.
Yeah, to escape the cartel and different things that was going on in Colombia.
Yeah, not just that, but because
somebody stole him, would try to steal him when he was young at 6 months. Yeah,
right. And so they really couldn't trust anybody, so they sent him to a family member that they could trust.
And it broke him down a little bit. I didn't like the fact that while he was reading his letter that he was getting emotional. Carla didn't come over there and say, Juan, it's okay. She waited till he finished reading the whole letter, got up, and then walked over there. I don't know about you. To me, I would have been like, it seemed like she was sitting there like this.
He had to walk away while he was reading his letter, because he was like, I'm getting emotional. Like, you made the point. Well, I wonder, was he crying when he wrote it? We don't know. But I told my husband, I said, I think having to say this out loud in front of somebody's like, wow, this is a lot. And he had to like walk away. And you and I both were like, why she don't go to him? And then she did comfort him later, but I just felt like, you should have did it at first.
Yeah, it brought a lot of emotion out with Juan. Juan talked about his dad having cancer at 16, prostate cancer, and how they went dancing afterwards. And he like, my dad beat it, you know, but it was something emotional and a strain on the family. You know, he talked about on After Party how he never saw his parents do big jobs, right? They did the jobs of, you know, most immigrants. They did cleaning and things like that. And he would go and clean with his mom, which now it makes sense why he wants to clean the house, because he's been cleaning since he was younger, right? So it makes those type of things where we saw Juan doing all those type of things with his younger self, Juan, and makes way that now why hard work is important, why having your own business is important, why being an entrepreneur is important, because he didn't want to be like his mom and dad in a sense of not having the struggle that they had to move up and to grow up and to get the things they have. It is good for Juan, as you know, he highlight they just the tough times they had. And I think both of them there. And then what we did not see, they both went to Carla's parents' house. Right. Carla finally introduced Juan to her parents. And
the stipulation was, you know, we'll go see my parents, my family, but we're going to do this off camera.
Right.
We're going to do this off camera. So we see them before talking about going there, and then we see them as they leave. And Juan talked about how Carla's mom cooked everything. Carla was like, and you ate everything. And you ate everything.
And left with a bag.
Like, it was good.
And left with some bags. If you saw them, they had bags, left with bags. I'm like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. Again, going to mom's house. So Carla got somewhere she can go eat at. She may not have no place to live, but she got somewhere to eat. You know, she got, you know, living place, but eating is not a problem, right? But that is something that Carla and Juan, he said he had a good time. And enjoyed it. So they had an intimate moment. He said he's, you know, then he got questioned by her friends, like, where's the intimacy? Why wasn't it? And they met her with her friends later, like, where's the intimacy? He's like, we're not there yet. And what he said on After Party is that he led with all that in his relationship previously, and he didn't want to do that with Carla. He wanted something different. And then Keisha asked, like, why don't you tell her that? Tell her.
Yeah,
you know?
her friends were like, Carla needs somebody. Like, she's touchy-feely.
Yeah.
She's touchy-feely. She needs somebody to be touchy-feely. And Juan said then, and on After Party, he was like, not really there. Like, we have cuddled a little, held hands a little, but so hopefully they can get there. We'll see.
They're not there yet. You know, and that's the biggest thing. They're like, yo, we're not at the cuddle part as of yet. And he's not there. She is, because this is what she wants on a regular basis. She wants to cuddle. She wants to hold hands. She wants the physical intimacy. And her friend said, that's what me and my husband do. She's not there. So Juan and Carla have both had emotional letters, and they're just still trying to find that intimacy. All right. Madison and Allen. We see them. They go on a softball. Not softball. It was baseball. She played softball in high school, but they went on another sporting outing.
Mm-hmm.
I like sports like the next man. Trust me, they played tennis, they played all kinds of stuff. They finally did something that Allen wanted to do, but I'm like, if you take this man on another sporting thing without going on something that he want, we're gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because he went to the gym with her on another episode. He went to play tennis with her on the episode. Now they're playing baseball, and he ain't do nothing. But they had a deep conversation. They talked while they were playing baseball, and Madison opened up about her mom, right? Mm-hmm. The strange relationship that she had with her mother, and she's about how her grandmother really helped her out a lot.
Yeah,
and
and how that was a thing for her. I wish me and my mother had a better relationship, but we didn't. And if I recall, even to the point where she's like, I don't know about me being a mother.
Right. Yeah, she don't think that she's able to be a mom here. And she's scared to have kids and scared for when they do have kids. Well, we ain't got to worry about Madison and Allen having no kids because she don't even let that man touch her. Right. So he's not even touching her. So they ain't going to have no kids. She ain't got to worry about him.
But he did pick her up and embrace her. Was it after the baseball?
After baseball, he grabbed her butt, and but at that point, it's like, hey, what do you have a situation where they like each other, they're good friends, but they're not lovers. Good friends, not lovers. And Madison have a problem with repeating the same mistakes that her mom did. All right. Allen talks about his emotional scars with his family. How his parents were divorced, and he would go stay with dad, and he would go stay with mom. That's when they went fishing. And
that was funny when they went fishing. I just felt like that fishing rod was gonna fly out of her hand.
When she,
and he talked about the fact that like they would talk about each other in front of him, like he was privy to the
important conversations.
No, not important.
Just with those grown folks, adult conversations where he wasn't supposed to have those conversations. So that's, Then he talked about his stepsister, how he felt like he was taken away from her because of his parent. I mean, he got emotional. Again, she said something to him, but it wasn't as deep as like embracing him, like, Allen is going to be okay. They showed some type of emotion there. They trying to balance their vulnerability and strength. Even though she don't like him, she's opening up to him, which I think is pretty neat. But you can tell that there's nothing else there, much more than them just being friends, right? He talked about, I think they reconnected after 18 years, him and his sister, and he heard her voice, and that he just was emotional. Like his little relationship with anybody else, but I think Allen is one of those guys where he needs somebody that can really connect with him to help him out, and Madison is not it. Madison is not connecting with him in any way. They try to build a foundation, but it's not there. You can see because he doesn't like I think his friend said he was passive aggressive, or he's a people pleaser.
Yeah, no, he's not passive aggressive.
He's not passive aggressive. He's a people pleaser.
Passive.
Yeah, he's a people. So he's trying to please Madison, but I think he knows that he's been friend zoned. Like it ain't going nowhere. And I think Allen is just doing it for the show. Allen's just going through the motions.
I wouldn't say that about Allison. I would say Madison.
No, I think he's going through the motions that he know that he's not going to, in hopes that she may say yes, but she's not going to say yes. I think he's smart enough to know, he's savvy enough, been around the streets a while to know this ain't, let me just not cause no waves, look bad on TV, because this ain't going. Because you're what is 20 days left, 19 days left, and y'all haven't been kind of emotional. And I'm not talking about sex. I'm just talking about physical contact, hugging. If you ain't there with 19 days left, these last 19 days is not going to change anything. So that's why I think they're at, right? Man, and now we I guess the two train wrecks.
Which train wreck first?
Let's go to Eki and M, which is a big train wreck, right? We see Eki sitting in his car talking about he's thinking about the moving in situation with M, and he really don't want to.
Like I don't think it's gonna help none. I don't want to do it.
I don't feel it.
But the funny part is that I really didn't expect this. MM says, I don't know about it neither.
Well,
I don't think it's going to help any. But Dr. Pia's thing was them starting over. it would take them being in the same space with each other.
Well, MM should have told Dr. P and Pastor Cal last week, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
She should have said what she really feeling. And KT should have told her what they're really feeling. Last week, I don't want to do this. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. We don't want to move in with each other. That's what the conversation should have been last week.
Because once again, he was like, I don't want to ruin my peace.
Then he talks,
I don't feel like myself when I'm around her.
Hey, it was weird when him and his friend walked in and he was talking about his age before beauty, beauty for age, whatever. Like, bro, I don't know men to say that. Mm-hmm. Y'all can say what y'all want. I don't know men to say that. But anyway, I move on. I move on. But Emma was talking to her friend and she was watching the dog and she told her friend what he said. And she's like, girl, what? Like, she was surprised. Like, that's not the MM I know. Like, what you gonna do? He's like, I don't think we're gonna move in. This not gonna work out. And then what she told Casey when they met up was, you're going to have to chase me. You're going to have to come after me. I'm not going to. She stopped calling him husband. She said, how much?
But even before that, let's go back before that. Because they both agreed it's better that you don't, that you don't move back in. But she tried to approach the topic of like, I haven't heard from you in a week.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're not gonna talk about that. And she was like, we're gonna have to talk about it sometime. And he was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't want to bring that up. No, bro, we got to bring that up. That's some stuff that has to be brought up. That's some stuff that has to be fixed, because if you never fix the issue and you never resolve the issue, how can you grow and move on?
He said, we starting from right here. We starting from scratch from right here.
That is so punkish. He could say, you know what? I needed my peace and I didn't want to talk to you. And I know you text me for a week. I saw your text messages, but guess what? It wasn't what I needed at the time. Very simple. You can end the conversation there, right? It wasn't what I needed at the time. I can't talk to you this way. And it's not good for us. Very simple. And like, so it's something. And then he still got petty or passive aggressive with her smart comments when they was discussing things. Like, bro, it is not as a husband or as a man, there's some things you just gotta let ride. Your wife is trying to start over. She's trying to renew this relationship. Take the L. I messed up. I shouldn't have called you an a-hole. I did all this. Let's start from here. We agreed to be apart. Okay, how do we communicate from here daily?
Right. And so
how do we communicate from here daily?
That's where MM's thing come in. It's like, I've been reaching out to you and not hearing nothing. So from this point forward, if you in this, if we trying to communicate, I'm following your lead. I need the communication to come from you.
Which, again,
if you ask me, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think she could be waiting.
But to me,
she could be waiting. He ain't gonna reach out to her.
For a person to say she's moving too fast or she's aggressive, what should take place is for him to take the lead. If she's moving too fast, if she's moving aggressive, if she's not meeting your need, how about you treat her, and talk to her?
He did use that word again when he was talking to his friend about her. He used the aggressive word again.
He used the aggressive word again. So if she's all this, right, then guess what? You need to take the lead. You be the man and you lead her if you say she's too aggressive. But you don't want to lead. You don't want to have a conversation. You don't want to talk. You don't want to lead. You just want it to be over. If you just want to be over, tell her, I just want it to be over. Don't play the game. Mm-hmm. And I think she's playing a game with her.
I really do. He irritated me again this episode. He irritated me so bad.
Because he's not doing the work, but he wants her to cater to him, but he's not willing to cater to her. And that's the problem. That's the big problem. Cater. Show the need. Show the love. Be respectful.
And he was like, I realized I left a few things here. I guess I'll pick those up. And the part that you laughed at when he came in, he was like, yeah, went to church this morning.
All right, what did you learn in church?
Went to church this morning, had a good service, and everything.
The Lord ain't changed nothing. He ain't fixed your attitude.
It didn't. He was nasty.
You're still rude and nasty. So guess what? The big issue is here. You don't want to be with each other. Y'all both frustrated. The mood and the mindset has shifted. And guess what? We're just wasting time. We got 19 days and we're calling it over. And it's going to be done. She said, I need it. And what she said was that was key is I'm not going to call him husband. I need to start treating him as a man who would like to date me. And I let him put in the effort and decide how he wants to move.
Yeah, she said, I'll decide. And then I'll decide if I want to move forward.
Decide if I want to move forward. So we'll see. Let's go. Move on to I want to eat them. I want to eat you up. Girl, you look so good. I want to eat you up. You are so defined. I want to eat you up. Now Michelle receives that text message from David. They're riding in a car. They're having a conversation about this. And my man sat there and flat out lied. So I was talking to my cousin. I was out with Denise. Well, he was out. She said he was out with Madison and Allen. They were supposed to meet up. They were supposed to meet up for a group date. They were supposed to see each other, and they were supposed to meet up. And so as they supposed to meet up, she receives this text message. Said, "You're defined. I want to eat you up." And she said, it was weird. I was waiting for a response and didn't get one. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, why you ain't respond back? Like, hey, what's up? She said, who you were talking to?
Oh, my cousin Denise said she was out in Chinatown and she had this food and she sent me a picture of the food. And I was like, oh, I want to eat that food up.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
And she was like, oh, okay. How did you text me last? Oh, yours was the last number that I text. And she started putting stuff together. It's like, but you went out with Madison and Allen. You let them know, but mine was the last number you text. Okay.
Had to be somebody else you text. How did y'all meet up? Did you call them? How did you? She started piecing things together. Now we know some people. I know somebody.
Anyway, what happened is
y'all watch the panel discussion. I'm telling that story.
Then they go to meet with Michelle's family. Uh-huh. That's where they were riding to.
Right.
And so she was like, I'm not gonna bring this up. I'm not gonna bring this up with my family. Like, I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna sit and, enjoy the food or whatever. And basically, Michelle's friend was there, who I believe they knew each other before they went from the town, right?
Right.
They met before college.
Didn't room each other. We ended up on the same floor.
Right. Yeah. They thought about rooming with each other. They did not end up doing it. They ended up on the same floor, and they just got to know each other and be friends from that. And what they shared is like, you are not getting the Michelle that we know. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, no, I'm not. And she was like, yeah, because I'm so on edge and I'm frustrated and I'm, basically I pick him apart. Everything pissed me off. Basically is what she says. And they, they're like, that's not the Michelle. Hopefully you will get to know that Michelle. And
she said she just can't. Right. And everybody likes David. Everybody think David is nice and he's a good guy. But she said, I just can't get with it. I can't feel it. Like, she still get the ick from the first day. Mm-hmm. And she talked about it on the after party. Like, I just couldn't get out of my mind what I saw and what I heard on the first day. So then she meets up with her friend later at the bar. And she like, oh, how do you like David? Like David, this, that, and other. And she shares the text message. She's like, ooh, girl, I think something wrong. Something up. And she like, there's something going on. She expresses like, I know he's lying. He won't tell me the truth. Like, he's cheating on me. One thing she said, I didn't agree. That's not sexting. That's not sexting.
But I think she was trying to say, you sent this. Somebody must have been sexting you. Like, they sent you a picture and your response. That's why she called it sexting. But we don't have no proof for that. Okay.
Right.
And, she was like, oh, I left it alone before, but I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to address it with him. Uh-huh. I'm going to address it with him.
Oh, that's what my friend said. When is 9:45 booty call hours? I thought booty call hours were like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's later than that.
Okay. Her friend like, oh, that girl, that's 9:40. That's booty hours. Now, booty call hours.
Not booty
mind
hours.
You, I wanted somebody to ask a question. Nobody would ask the question. Like, you text me at 9:40 something. You supposed to be out with Madison and Allen. Were they there? Like, who were you still in this group with texting? Like, nobody asked that question. That would be my first question. Like, were you still with Madison and Allen? Why are you texting me? Like, what's going on? You know, so then we see Michelle and David actually have a conversation. They're both been writing letters to themselves.
And she was like, "Do you really think we need to be doing this at this point?" Like, I gotta go back to this text message. What the heck? Okay, so what did you say was in response to? Oh, my cousin Denise, she sent me a picture of this food, and I was like, oh man, you know, I never been to Chinatown. It looks so good. You know, I want to eat you up. And she was like, you so I want to eat you up, but you talk about food. You talk to your cousin like that? Yeah, I talk to my cousin like that. You say it like that? Yeah. So you talking about food and you're calling it you. Why you don't call it it? Okay, so then she says, well, was your cousin in the picture? What did she have on? What kind of food was it? Was it on the plate? What did the plate look like? And he was like, I mean, I wasn't examining it like that. I was like, bro.
So she's like, well, show me the picture. And then bro proceeds to pull out his phone. Like he's trying to find, yo, you like a kid.
I ain't got it no more.
I ain't got it no more. You know you ain't had that picture in the first place. And be honest, this is the first time we've seen David get flustered. First time we've seen David get animated. He had been calm throughout the season. And we see David get animated and flustered. He a bad liar.
And she was like, yeah, she was. And she was like, okay. So, I mean, do you think that's okay to be texting, texting females? Why? Because she said she called it sexting. I ain't been sexting nobody. Well, have you been texting females since we've been in this relate? And he was like,
well, yeah, I've texted females.
I texted a girl I met on Tinder.
I talked to Danielle today when I took her coffee. What? He said, and Roxy, her neck was like.
She said.
He claimed the interaction they had was platonic. And she's like, but I ain't signing for that.
Platonic.
He's like, hold on. Platonic. Like, we ain't signing.
Pluto.
He said, we ain't signing for this. Like, this is not what I agreed to.
I think what made her neck snap, I told my husband, is she asked and he was like, 1, 2, 3. I think when he got to the third one, she was like, wait, what?
Yo.
3?
He was like so honest about the other 3 that he forgot about the one that he texted. I think he was trying to throw her off. Like, you said that.
I did.
You did say that, and I agree with you.
Because he was like, why? I mean, you might as well, like, you doing all this and being upfront about this. Why you don't just be upfront about who you text? And I said, for what? He not upfront about who he was texting because she don't know Roxy. She don't know Dale. She know the other person.
Yeah. And she like, you think, and David thought this behavior was acceptable. He like, yeah, shoot, I do this.
I'm friends with my exes.
Yo,
I talk to my exes.
The boundaries are so...
Which is fine. I got ex-boyfriends that I talk to.
Correct.
But he knows them.
Yeah.
He knows when I have talked to them.
Sure. No problem.
That's the key. You can be friends with your exes, but do your current know you friends with your exes and that you talk to them.
That you talk to them. Look, it's much more than that. David has lied.
Ex-boyfriends for me. I don't have no ex-husband.
Yeah, David has lied. He's cheated. She's hurt. I think we had the conversation. Why she hurt?
That was my biggest thing. I was like,
because she like, you don't like him. And I told you it's because of we're supposed to be in this. I may not like you, but I don't want nobody else to have you.
And she pretty much said, well, no, not that I don't want nobody else to have you, but I'm in this process.
Right.
And so I don't talk to nobody else while I'm in this process. That's her thing.
It is. And that's, I told you, that's supposed to be, if we're in this process, all the ex-Tinder dates, all the coffee giving.
But I feel like she shouldn't be hurt.
She's hurt because she's embarrassed.
Embarrassed is something different.
It shouldn't happen to me. You should have. How did I not see this coming? All that is in that. That's why she feel the way she feel. How dare you do this to me? I treated you bad. But how dare you do this to me?
That's the part.
Right? I didn't like you, but how dare you do this to me? I joked about you or talked about you living in your mama's basement. But how dare you do this to me?
The audacity. I'm sorry, sis. The audacity. I'm not saying he right. I'm not saying he right. I just feel like you should right now. This is what it is. Her feelings not hurt. It's the principle of it. She's stuck on the principle because you can't be hurt. Your feelings cannot be hurt.
They can be.
No.
I don't like you, but you talking to somebody else.
No.
Yes.
That's not that. I promise you that's not what it is.
It is.
No.
I'm telling you this. Y'all let us know what you think. Why is Michelle hurt? And
I don't think she's hurt. I think that's the wrong word.
And do she have the right to be hurt?
I think she's bothered. I think she's offended.
She offended.
I think she's like the nerve of you.
Y'all let us know. Leave a comment in the comment section below.
But not because she like him and not because she really cares.
Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know. Is it her? Is it me? What's going on? Is it him? Is it David? Why does she feel this way? Do she have the right to feel this way? Leave your comment in the comment section below. Closing thoughts.
I have nothing.
I have none.
The only hope I have, I'm lying. I do. Only hope I have is Thomas and Camille. A distant second is Carla and Juan. A distant second.
That must be real distant.
A distant second.
Nah, that ain't that ship them sailed too.
No.
None of them. None of them.
Not that they'll be married, but that they'll be in a better place than everybody else at the end. But I'm not saying they're gonna stay married. That's a long shot, but
it's a long shot. Long shot. But hey, leave your comments in the comments, Big Show. The comments in the comment section below. Hit this bell notification. Hit the thumbs up. Like this video. Hey, we talk to you guys later. Appreciate you.
bye.
Bye.